On this board, we're talking about credit cards. This is super important because credit cards can either become a blessing in your life or a poison. And it all depends on how you handle them. And in this class, we're going to talk about what credit cards are, how credit cards work, and how you can use credit cards to be a blessing in your life. Let's jump right in. First, what is a credit card? Well, a credit card is a thin, rectangular piece of plastic or metal issued by a bank or financial services company that allows card holders to borrow money to pay for goods and services under the agreement that you will pay back the money by the due date of the monthly bill. Now, here's the trick. Here's the trick that credit card companies play on people, right? The credit card company gives you the option of paying just a small portion of the monthly bill called the minimum balance, all right? So credit card companies, they give you the option of paying just a small portion of the monthly bill, but it is a trap because they will charge you interest on the remaining balance. So therefore, always pay the full amount of the monthly bill so that you can avoid having to pay any interest. All right. Now, also very important, always pay the bill on time. Always pay the bill on time. You know, the number one thing that impacts your credit score is your payment history, right? So you have to always pay your bills on time. Here's a tip. Set up auto pay so that the full amount of your monthly bill is paid from your bank account automatically, right? Automatically, all right? Also, closely monitor your credit utilization. Closely monitor your credit utilization, right? Now, what is credit utilization? Basically, credit utilization is this. It's the percentage of the total amount of credit that is available to you that you're using, right? So it's the percentage of the total amount of your available credit that you are actually using. That is your credit utilization, all right? So closely monitor your credit utilization because here's the thing, when you open up a credit card account, you receive a credit limit, which is the maximum amount of money you can borrow on that card. But never max out a credit card. Never max out a credit card. In fact, always try to keep your credit utilization to be under 30%. And really, if possible, try to keep it under 10%. 10%. Because maintaining a low credit utilization will help you maintain an excellent credit score, right? Now, look, if you really want to be a superstar, try to maintain a credit utilization to be under 3%. All right, because that will really help your credit score, right? So, but at least try to make it under 10%. If you can't do under 10%, definitely try to make it under 30%. All right, credit utilization. Now, here's a tip. If your credit limit is low, right, then request a credit limit increase every 6 months. All right, so about every 6 months, you are eligible to request a credit limit increase, right? And who knows, maybe on some credit cards, maybe after maybe 3 months you can even get the increase, but at least after 6 months, right, you can request a credit limit increase. That will help you, right? Because if you have a higher credit limit, then it'll be easier for you to maintain a low credit utilization, right? Now, here's another tip. For each credit card, call the credit card company and find out what is the reporting date of the card, the reporting dates. The reporting date is the monthly date on which the credit card company reports your account balance to the three major credit reporting agencies, right? So each month, your goal should be to get your credit utilization to be as low as possible, but above zero by the reporting date, and to pay off your bill to zero by the payment due date, right? And of course, the payment due date is the date by which you must pay your bill in full to avoid interest charges, right? So you want to call the credit card company to find out what is your reporting date. On many credit cards, the reporting date is the end of the billing cycle, but call your credit card company just to make sure, because that's key. Because it's the reporting date, that's the date in which your credit utilization will be documented, right? Because that's the date in which the credit card companies report to the credit reporting agencies your account balance. So and it's just one day of each month, right? It's one date of each month that they report, right? So therefore, you got to find out what that date is, because frankly, right, your credit a balance can be anything during all the other days of the month. But when that credit reporting date comes around, you want to make sure that your credit utilization is as low as possible on that credit reporting date, right? So you got to find out when is the reporting date, because different credit cards, different accounts, it could be a different date. So you got to find out for each credit card, find out what is the reporting date of that card, right? And then make sure it's the credit utilization is super low by that date, but above zero, of course, right? Because here's the thing, here's a little tip, right? You want to make sure it is above zero, because if the credit reporting agencies are always reporting a zero balance, then it's going to look as though you're not using any credit at all, and that also will really hurt your credit score if you're not using any credit at all, right? So you want to be using credit, but you want to make sure your credit utilization is super, super low, right? That's the game. That's the game. And look, all this stuff, it's all a game, really. You know what I'm saying? This financial, this credit score stuff, it's all a game. And you have to know how to play the game. That's what really it comes down to. All right. So make sure. So again, let me just stress this one more time. Make sure you know what your reporting date is, right? Because each month, your goal should be to get your credit utilization to be as low as possible, but above zero by the reporting date, and to pay off your bill to zero by the payment due date, right? Excellent. Now, here's another tip. As you maintain an excellent credit score, help your kids. Help your kids build an excellent credit score by adding them as authorized users onto one of your credit cards, because that way your credit card account and its payment history will also appear on their credit report, and that will enable them to piggyback on your good credit history and your good credit score, right? But now, two things to keep in mind when you work this strategy. Number one is this: check the minimum age requirement for authorized users, because it varies among credit card companies, right? Some might be like 13 years old, some might be 16 years old. It varies, right? Also, and this is very important, is this: make sure that you choose a credit card that reports authorized user status to all three of the major credit reporting agencies: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time on the next video.